Hey, all right. See, different intro from last week. This week's extraordinary podcast. Actually, not last week's, because last week I didn't do one. Last week I spent all my time writing blog posts that I completely skipped doing the video version of it. So I've got 3 blog posts to talk about today. I'm not going to go through them all today. I'm going to talk about the number one that I think has the most impact, that I think most of us need to know about. But I did write 3 blog posts last week. So this week's extraordinary podcast, probably going to touch on a little bit of both, what all 3 of those said, and then the main hub of the blog that I'm going to read. So the first blog I wrote last week, which is why no time is killing your fitness goals and how to fix it now. Been playing a lot with better titles, so I think that one's a really good one. By the way, if you are wondering where to find these blog posts, it's vassc.com underneath the little blog comma. Each of them has a little photo that's linked to it. I just realized just now the photo's on top, the title is on the bottom. The second one was the power of measuring your success, how tracking your progress can transform your fitness journey for better. A big blog post about the importance of actually mapping and tracking your goals rather than being emotional on how you believe you're succeeding. And the last one, which we're going to touch on today, which is getting six-pack abs over 30, 40, or even 50 years old. 5 secrets your doctor, physio, and nutritionist don't want you to know. Ooh, controversial, but let's delve into this one here today. So let's start by reading the post, and then I can elaborate, as we always do here on the Extraordinary Podcast. Why do we do it that way? Because, hey, then you can listen to the blog in a verbal form or in an audio form. Plus, at the same time, you can get my commentaries as we go along. So starting off, no matter the time of year, we all know you want those rock solid head turning abs. But here's the thing, most experts, including your doctors, physios, and nutrition coaches, won't tell you what works. Why? Because if they did, you wouldn't be paying them anymore. There it is. I said it. There it is. I said it, and I will stand by that statement. But I'm about to tell you precisely what you need to do. Whether you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, these 5 secrets will get you those 6-pack abs you've always wanted and might get me blacklisted from all the professional forums for the rest of my career. Worth it. I'd risk that for you guys. Secret number 1, sprint intervals are the fat burning machine you need. First things first, if you want visible abs, you've got to lose that fat covering them up. But here's what your doctor won't tell you. Those hours you spend plodding along on the treadmill, the drugs they prescribe, and the extra appointments they book are a waste of your time. What you really need are sprint intervals. Research has shown that when people do ab exercises like crunches, sit-ups, or hours of excess cardio or use fat loss drugs, they don't lose a gram of body fat. That actively shows their abs. However, when you add some sprints, you can strip off 1 to 2 kilos of pure fat, most of it from your belly. Now, obviously, I've gone into more of a reader-friendly version of that one, but what you want to remember is when you're doing something like sprint intervals, you're going to chip away into that subcutaneous fat, the fat that sits between the skin and the muscle itself. The whole point behind using sprint intervals is it actually chips into that exercise post-oxygen window of consumption, and in turn makes you burn more fat from all of the main areas of the body. Now, you don't spot reduce in particular, but when it comes to abdominal exposure, that's going to help ramp up or increase your ability to burn fat. The problem with slow, steady state cardio and even using drugs for weight loss is that you're not increasing the lean muscle tissue that goes around that. So you don't have lean muscle tissue pushing out, you don't have fat burning in. All you end up is with everything getting small and everything getting shrunk. So basically you just take this overinflated balloon and you just go, whereas if you think of it like we're taking the air and filling it with sand, you're going to have the sand fill the balloon, and in turn it'll then compress harder and you'll see the little ripples and all that sort of thing. So if you want rock hard abs, you've got to do your sprint intervals to increase your fat burning from the use of fat on the body by doing sprint intervals, not just losing weight. You are burning fat. You're losing fat, not just weight. I digress a little bit, but let's get back on track. At VAS Strength and Conditioning, this is why we put such a strong emphasis on time as your primary exercise variable to achieve results. Time has more bearing on your achieving results than anything else. Pair that with intense work periods mixed with rest, and you're now doing intervals designed to burn body fat right off your body and get you closer to the ab goals you crave. There's been a big spike lately in doctors prescribing things to help people lose weight. That is a lot of bullshit. I'm in an environment where I get to see that quite often. Things like the drugs and that. One big thing that I think we need to get away from when we talk about this is that whole weight loss thing compared to muscle. Like a lot of the prescriptions that people are getting is going to help them decrease muscle tissue as well as fat. Lose fat 100%, definitely do. But doing it without being able to exercise to some extent is absolute madness in my opinion. And don't be wrong, if you are chronically obese and you should be focusing on volume, definitely, like going for walks and stuff, that's a great starting point. But if you're trying to expose your abs and you are already conditioned, mate, intervals all day, every day, and high intensity work 3 to 4 times a week, not just sometimes, and not just shit you're comfortable with. It's got to be stuff that you're uncomfortable with too, like heavy barbells and more things that are going to really require that intensity factor to go all the way up. Secret number 2, the real nutritional blueprint for abs. Doctors, physios, and nutritionists often make nutrition sound like rocket science, but the truth is it is much simpler. You don't need fancy diets or meal plans. It would help to have high quality, high protein foods, lots of vegetables, and nutrient dense real food. Here's the blueprint. Proteins and fats at every meal. Aim for 10 grams of essential amino acids per meal. PS. That means nothing, and I probably should change that to more of like getting around about 150 to 100 grams of a protein source in every meal. So I think I'll change that. Through meat, fish, and eggs are the best friends here, and cutting back on carbs. Very controversial topic. I'm going to delve into this probably way more than I should right now, but let's start here. There, I said it. You want rock hard abs? Cut back the carbs. Focus on getting your carbs from veggies and fruits rather than bread, cereals, and pastas. If you're going low carb, throw in some starchy veggies like sweet potatoes every 5 to 7 days to keep your metabolism in check, but that's it. I'm going to read this whole part here so that I don't double up, because ultimately I think this is one of my biggest sort of soapboxes at the moment, one I stand really high on top of at the minute. But ultimately there's some rubbish floating around on the internet that you need carbohydrates to fuel the brain and blah, 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 blah. Sure, there is some merit to that, but the truth is you can probably get enough from eating high quality, nutrient-rich fruits and vegetables. The problem is that the internet tells us we must eat a balanced diet, that 80-20 life. Well, the news is you've already eaten an unbalanced, swung too far in the wrong direction diet, and you need to bring that back to the left. If you want abs and you've been eating balanced for the last 30, 40, or 50 years and it hasn't worked for you, then you've got to spend some time in the trenches getting dirty. Say hello to meat, fresh vegetables and salads, some fruit, and eating sugary foods and processed carbs barely ever. Last part of this rant, and this rant still applies to when I wrote this as well, because I'm in the same state now. I'm writing this right now after a workout with no carbs consumed so far today, and this post is lit. My brain is working fine, no carbs are needed, so enough said. Right. I don't want to get into a massive debate here, but one thing that really fucks me off is that nutrition, doctors, and physios are saying basically everything that we do is individualized and everybody should be doing things individually. Now that would work for me, particularly in the nutrition realm, if everybody wasn't giving the same fucking prescription for what the fuck people should be eating. The problem is that nutrition is not being individualized, not even a little bit. You've got nutritionists, actual nutritionists on the internet telling people that they should be eating carbohydrates before they work out, carbohydrates during when they work out, and after. Now they're going to say, yeah, but that's for athletes. Yeah, fuck you. That's also, what about you put out a post then that says if you're 30 kilos overweight, this is what you should be eating before you fucking train. This is what you should be eating during the workouts, and this is what you should be doing afterwards. Instead, we're getting mixed signals. Now, I need to maybe do some more research and see if there are fat loss experts out there on the nutrition bandwagon saying, hey, this is what a person who is 30 kilos overweight should be eating to get down this body fat percentage. But we're not fucking doing it. And I'm not going to be the guy who steps out of the box to go and do it. But if nutrition is so individualized, why are we telling everybody to still eat the same shit from 30 years ago? If nutrition was individualized, you wouldn't be saying that keto shit. You wouldn't be saying low carb shit. You wouldn't be saying macro counting is the only way forward. Sure, maybe that's what all the sciences have said, and there are a heap of studies to back that up. But ideally, there are more people out there who need to focus on more extreme measures to get to where they're going than the crap that these evidence-based people are all throwing out there. Because at the end of the day, you're not helping them be able to break the habits. And if you are, good for you, that's great. But ultimately, fuck me. The amount that the world's saying that everyone should eat carbohydrates, once upon a time, there was a whole thing of them saying don't eat any at all. And people were all about it back then, and people were achieving results. What happened to that? It all just disappeared. Maybe, go on. Because what? The sciences have taken over. If nutrition is so individualized, start individualizing it for people and let people have the diets that are going to work for them. Instead, everybody's eating fucking Weet Bix, oats, eggs on toast, the same shit. Everyone's eating the same shit. It's not individualized nutrition. Start individualizing it. Number 3, big lifts build big abs. Here's part 4. Haha, there's an edit. Was part 4, needs to be part 3. Here's part 3, an extension of part 3 to hit this home. It's an extension of part 3. There's an edit. That's going to happen right now. It's live. We're editing live. Bear with me while this loads. Right. By the way, I need to put a timestamp on that because that's going to become the bit here. All right, 9 to 12 minutes roughly I need for the chop of that. That's going to definitely go on the internet, so I'm all about it. All right. The real secret that the real pros know but don't always share is that the heavy multi-joint lifts like deadlifts, squats, and chin-ups are the ultimate ab exercises. Why? Because they force your abs to work hard as stabilizers, which leads to more muscle and more defined abs. A study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research supports this, showing that big lifts activate core muscles far better than isolated ab exercises. Your go-to lifts should be deadlifts and squats, aiming for 70 to 85% of your 1 rep max. These are your foundations. Chin-ups, these will not carve out your abs, but also improve your overall, will not only carve out your abs, but also improve your overall body composition. And the Olympic lifts. If you're up for it, these lifts will give you the thick, strong obliques you've always wanted. Look, you want good, rock solid abs, lift heavy, lift hard, chase intensity, and stop chasing fucking volume. The volume is important to some extent, but that's more aerobic capacity. If you want great abs, you got to get thick through the whole body and more muscle tissue. That is from intensity. That is what's going to get you there. That's why at Vast Strength and Conditioning, we like to lift heavy, we like to do it often, we like to do a lot of intervals, and Olympic weightlifting is our forte. It is what we do, and we're fucking good at it. And that's the main reason is for these types of things. And people are telling you that this shit is dangerous. It's not. It's dangerous if you try and do that shit by yourself. It's dangerous if you try and do it without a professional with you, but it's not dangerous overall. Secret number 4, engage your core is not what you think it is. I just said it in secret number 3, that deadlifts and squats will give you killer abs, and they will. But here's the catch. Most people don't engage their core properly during these lifts, so they should go and start doing Pilates. Fuck off. No, that's not what I wrote here at all. And if you're not engaging your core, you're not getting the full benefits. Even if you've been lifting for years, you might not squeeze those abs like you should. Studies show that people who actively engage their core during exercises have better movement patterns and tighter abs. So they should do Pilates. Fuck off, that's not what I wrote at all. But here's what your doctor, physio, and other professionals don't tell you. But here's what your doctor, physio, and other professionals don't tell you is don't tell you. What they don't tell you is that you can do this by taking a big deep breath. Engaging before you lift, and using the intra-abdominal pressure to control pressure of breath control. Intra-abdominal pressure of breath control. Sure, you're a cooked biscuit who hasn't lifted weights for 30 plus years and has a bad back because you've had to carry a few extra kilos around the front for too long. That doesn't mean you need to go and start Pilates. You need to do step 1 and step 2 first, pull back the weights a little, and let your ability to control your midline to extremities catch up. Plus, a good warm-up done correctly with some inchworms, plank holds, a few glute engagement exercises, and the correct muscle activations is more than enough when combined with heavy lifting to engage and build your abs. Copy paste. Going to add that to a Facebook post. Look, even if you've been lifting for years, no. Look, I see many more people lift heavy weights at intensity and progress faster in exposing their abs than I've ever seen any of the doctors, physios, or nutrition coaches represent lately. With an excellent warm-up, I'm just saying that you don't have to muck around with weird Pilates and ab engagement exercise rubbish. Without it, you can achieve what you want, rock hard abs, and lift weights safely and effectively. Look, I think deep down, you all know it and I know it, that you're just looking for the easy way out. That things like Pilates for abs and core and all that shit, plank holds and fucking all that stuff. Look, they have a place. That stuff is warm-up exercises. That stuff is engagement exercises before the real nuts and bolts and the real part of what you need to do, which is lift with intensity, go heavy and go hard. I get it. It's not for everybody. Do what you like, wah, and all that crap. But the reality is, if you want good results, you have to work hard. Anything in life, anything, you have to sacrifice something and work hard to go and get it. And if we start trying to find shortcuts, which I think is exactly what is happening in this industry right now, with a lot of the shit that's popping up, it's just going to stagnate and you're just going to cool, you'll be happy, but I don't think you're going to get what you want. But hey, that's cool. Hopefully this resonates with the people that want to work hard, not those who want to try and find the shortcuts. Secret number 5, manage stress like your abs depend on it. Finally, I might be able to share our views on stress management with these so-called experts. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, a hormone that makes your body store fat, especially around your belly. Most people are stressed all the time, which is why the struggle to see your abs, no matter how hard they train or how well they eat. The solution here is to manage your stress like a boss. Get enough sleep, eat well, breathe deeply, and keep a positive outlook. If you can do that, your body will stop storing fat and those abs will finally start to show. As they say, the definition of madness is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different result. If you're constantly stressing and getting nowhere with your health, fitness, and abdominal muscle cravings, it's time to relax, enjoy the process, and do the work without the stress. Or as I like to tell people, quit your job, sell your kids, and devote your life to getting abs. That'll deal with your stress for sure. I've told that to a number of people always. If you want to get what you want to, if you want to achieve more in life, sell your kids, quit your job, and devote all your time and effort to that one thing. Ha ha ha, funny, not reality for everyone. Comment below, fuck you, if you got this far into the podcast and you know you can't sell your kids, quit your job, and wholeheartedly do the thing. But hey, you're in it, you're doing it, you're watching this. I love you for it. The conclusion you need to hear. I've tried to be humorous and direct and hit the points home so that you can finally learn the truth. I'm yet to hear of anyone leaving a doctor's, physio, or nutrition consult or any other professional appointment with these 5 secrets to getting six-pack abs over their 30s, 40s, or even 50 years old. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, it's time to take action. These strategies aren't just for young guns. They work for anyone at any age. Age is mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. So let's go, become extraordinary and get after it. I love this I love this blog. I love everything about this blog. If I am biased, that's cool. I totally get it. But I think the information in here, it cuts through the fat. It cuts through the bullshit. We need to do extraordinary things to achieve extraordinary results. And these are the things that we need to do. Nutritionally, we need to aim to focus on the quality of our food. And if that means getting rid of carbohydrates, to not just get abs, just to be healthier. Wheat Bix for breakfast and oats, it's not for everybody. Eggs on toast, fuck. Food's changed, and why are we not able to find a way for it to change to suit the individual properly? Not just for taste, but for actually what's going to get them somewhere. Why are we still trying to focus on really poor? Let's go back to step one. Let's just take a step back. So we should be focusing on intensity and intervals. We need to focus on eating high quality, high nutritious, protein-based meals. We need to start lifting big compound movement patterns, burn the most fat using the most movement patterns and the most exercises. Stop trying to take the shortcut with volume and go for intensity. We need to have breath control, focus on how we breathe to be able to lift correctly, and ideally manage our stress. We live in a very stressful time when things have never been easier, and they shouldn't be that way, but they are that way. Guys, if you want abs between anywhere from 30, 40 or 50, this is the way that you do that. I will not be swayed otherwise. So have a look at the blog post yourself. Like I said, go and visit vassce.com, have a read, and I will see you next week with another rant, no doubt.